Why don't we begin with today's topic? And today's topic is going to be continuing Tavi's previous presentation, productivity. And we will touch a bit on the productivity on the personal level, and we will touch a bit on the company level. And for that, I really wanted to see a bit of a show of hands, if possible. So, how many of you guys are actually HRs here on HR stage? Show of hands. Awesome. So it seems that majority. How many of you are managers of teams? Okay. So I'm at the right place. I'm at the right audience. That's nice to know. So the message, I hope it will grasp every single one of you. Yep. We'll just restart it and then we can begin so you can actually see the context. Okay, cool. So this guy that you see here, yes, it's me. But to begin a bit of a personal level, so daily productivity. This guy manages a international business, an international startup that has pretty much offices in 6 different countries. He has some side projects too. He also loves to spend some time with 2 daughters of his, obviously with his wife, and then he still needs time to actually devote to keep himself in shape. So what does it mean? It means that on a personal level, you actually have to manage your time so efficiently that every single passion I just listed of this person that you saw in the previous slide gets fulfilled, right? So how do I do it? On a personal level, I like to use a lot of personal productivity tools. So I structure my notifications properly. I don't get distracted quickly. I like to focus on the big things. On the business level, I do a lot of automated workflows, which actually help me. So while I'm talking to you here right now, there is an actual robot that works on behalf of me. Isn't that magical, right? So in addition to that, the main goal, I guess, is to have time for every single action that you have planned. So everything that you want to do, you want to have more time for that. How do we achieve it? One of the aims is better energy management, obviously, but then again, how is our daily patterns structured? They're structured around using multitude of these digital tools. One of those tools is here in my pocket right now. I assume that most of you also have the same tool. This is on a personal level. On a company level, we talked to a lot of business leaders. So I think we have talked in last 3 years with, top 1,000 of Central European companies. And the key takeaway is that the modern day manager, and here I have to agree with Tavi, because he showed this brilliant analogy of how many things the HR manager has to do on a daily basis. They have to find the person, they have to onboard the person, they have to file the paperwork, they have to engage that new hire, they have to make sure that they are productive, they have to make sure that they're actually performing, right? So, and this is just like the first, 2 months, maybe for some companies even less. So many tasks, right? So how do we actually do it? We do it with a multitude of tools that are actually helping us. And here I have listed some of them. Maybe you'll recognize some of the logos, but I did some calculation, and in my personal routine, I have about 13 tools that help me stay productive, or at least what I think productive and staying productive means, right? You have HR systems, you have the digital collaboration systems, you have emails, chats, messages. All of that influx creates this crazy thing that we call our normal working day, right? So how do we deal with that? Essentially, my company and we work with data, and we focus on data because our understanding is that gut feeling in 2022 and beyond is just not gonna cut it. It's not gonna be enough anymore. You cannot go to people and say, so what do you think, this guy, Janis, is he going to quit on us in 6 months? And then the HR will say, well, I feel that he might. Like, where's the logic in that? I also feel many things on a daily basis. It depends on the mood from my first step that I make during the day, right? Or I think that, this person might be subject to promotion, right? Typical thing that happens in workplace. So why I think and I feel they're a good thing, essentially a nice thing. We are emotional human beings. This is nice to have. But remember previous slide, all of these systems, what do you think they do? They create all these data points that help us eliminate the need to think and feel when we talk about company decisions, right? When we talk about the cake for your colleague's birthday, well, that's, I think, and I feel a decision, right? It should be a pink cake because that guy is a Peppa Pig fan, right? That's what I think, you may oppose. All of this is... Sorry, yeah, this is the one. This is actually creating this disease that is called meningitis, right? So we have many diseases in autumn. One of them is meningitis. Meningitis probably is met in multiple occasions during the working day because, for example, like my colleague mentioned, I can't meet you. I can't talk about this super important initiative you have, because I'm preparing for the next meeting. I say, when's the next meeting? It's in 5 hours. Well, just let it sink in. So this is typically what happens in a working day, right? There are multitude of reports. Why are we being disengaged? Why is 80% of the workforce disengaged? Well, because we are doing things that we don't really need to do, because we are like, this is a company policy, like we need to be there. We need to attend these meetings. Not only the sentimental issue, but also the financial cost is huge, right? So there was a calculation that my ex-colleague did about the meeting costs. How much does it cost? I mean, how much does an inefficient meeting cost? So here we have this wonderful analogy where the official statistic of a company, 100 plus sized employees, is that in average, 8 people attend the average meeting. 5 of them don't speak. Okay, so just again, let that sink in, right? And this is not my, I think and I feel, and this is actually Deloitte's research. Okay. All of this is supported by this digital workplace thing that is so hyped up right now, lately, right? So we have all of these collaboration, cloud tools. If you work in a company, most likely you work for this side will work for Microsoft ecosystem companies, this side for Google. Okay, let's just separate that a bit. And then in addition to that, we will use something else, like we don't like Google's video messaging. Our company will say, hey guys, let's just use Zoom. I mean, they're better. Okay, why not? Additional platform, who's to judge? And then in addition to that, based on what we actually do, I know a lot of Latvian companies use a system that is not mentioned here, but in government they use this NAMES, which is the productivity, so-called, again, platform where you actually collaborate on multiple documents, where you are able to, edit, work on this, and then, keep up the pace of your projects, right? Globally, these are brand names, and the collaboration trend is just crazy, right? But yeah, so I'm talking a lot about the problem, but why don't you give me a solution, Janis, right? So what can we do, first of all, as human beings, to actually stay sane in this, increasing digital collaboration world, where we actually at this moment, most likely, we are getting about like 300 notifications per this room at this second, and now even more and more and more, right? Because there are many of you guys. How to actually use it properly? Well, we have to make sure that the proper setup is being done, that we are onboarded properly, that we know why these tools are actually purchased for. So what are we going to accomplish with those tools? How are we going to complete the setup of those tools? What is going to be our notification setup, for example, right? Do we want notification for every single thumbs up? Or do we actually want notification for something like, hey, the project was done, congratulations, it's time for you to take over, right? Two different things, again, very, very sentimental. What is super interesting, and like, I'm a huge fan of reading all those so-called self-help books. One of them is Amazon's book. It's actually like Bezos didn't write it. He wrote it together with like New York's best-selling author, and they dedicate a separate chapter to meetings. So Amazon meetings. Okay, so awesome tip actually. They will never host a meeting where there are more people that can be fed by 2 pizzas. Okay, well, simple enough. So the meeting is successful. We want to order from Lulu or Chili, right, or whatever the pizza of choice is, because the other people will not be fed, right? So they will not be happy. So totally makes sense. In addition to that, in this meeting where you don't have more people that can be fed by 2 pizzas, you will also not have any PowerPoints. Crazy, because I'm showing you a PowerPoint right now. This is not a meeting though. So what does it mean, no PowerPoints? So what Bezos' genius idea was that instead of holding a meeting, we will hold a preparation where the meeting lead will take some time in his calendar. They will block off some time, maybe an hour a day, and they will prepare meeting notes for that meeting. What happens next? They start with silence. The meeting lead will hand out every single participant of this structured meeting the meeting notes, and for 20 minutes there will be silence like this, right? So everybody will be understanding, reading through, so you don't have these situations where there is the 8th slide and there are 20 slides to go and there's this show of hands, hey, but what about this problem or this solution? And it's actually answered 3 slides later, right? So sounds cool, right? I mean, that's one thing how to actually implement it. Focus time is one of my favorite solutions. Actually, everybody that uses Microsoft ecosystem tools like Office 365 Teams, you will have this auto blocker for focus time. Use it. Don't even think about it twice. Boss cannot do anything to you about it. If you abuse it, use it 2, 3, 4 hours a day. And then thank me later. Remember this presentation. Okay? Focus time is something, it's basically not really a pill, it's really a proper solution. It's a therapeutics to meetingitis. Okay? Yeah, so I only have not much time left, so I'll try to use it properly, show my product a bit. We work with people analytics. My team is Piro. And on daily basis, we help companies understand the productivity flows in their daily routine. We help them understand what is their email culture, what is their meeting culture. We help them understand the predictions based on people's data. And all of that is, again, done, supported by Digital Workplace. Because as last year, Microsoft CEO said, by the next 2 years, we will generate 2 times more data. Again, I'll talk slowly. Next 2 years, 2 times more data than in last 20. Crazy, crazy, right? So it just means more and more this so-called digital tool adoption is coming, and like there is nothing that we can do to avoid it. Book focus time, right? This is my one of the remaining advices. And use Piro. So Piro actually helps managers and HR leads to understand their time better. What we do, we take your current productivity and collaboration tools like Microsoft Email, Microsoft Teams data, calendars data, HR systems data, data on retention, data on performance management, questionnaires, and we pile it all in into one super intuitive platform that will not only train your employees, but they will actually tell you what to do, how to work better, how to work more productively, and how to actually just be a happier person. So I think my time is up.
Yeah. Thank you, Janis.